I'm really excited for our next session with Ashley, the hidden rules expert. She's going to talk specifically about a different form of retention. This is, I think, it's similar to the way that retail, if you were here since the beginning, retail missed the opportunity to collect customer information and continue to market to customers when all foot traffic shut down. You have the same problem with Amazon. Amazon is a large source of traffic, and you can generate it as a channel partner. We know that there's cannibalization existing, meaning some of your customers might want to buy, that might be on your site and then go search Amazon, which is a really unfortunate thing that happens. And you, of course, lose a lot of customer data because of that. So if we can get the Amazon customer over to a direct-to-consumer channel, we can make more money, right? We can have a better relationship. We can market to them on different channels. We can let them know of sales. We can upsell, cross-sell, and tell them about all the other products they didn't see because we don't have control over what they see on Amazon. So for that reason, I think this is going to be one of my favorite sessions because it's how are we going to solve that problem to the fullest? Ashley, come on in, and I'm looking forward to this. Yeah.
Hey, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. And holy jamoly, John, that was amazing. I caught the tail end. I love that platform. Like, hello.
Yeah.
Solve all your damn problems. That's amazing. I love it. And it really ties into what we're talking about today.
Perfect. I look at the e-commerce technology landscape on a regular basis, and I'm always like, okay, there's personalization tools out there, right? I see the competitors in the space, but none of them are actually putting the machine learning component inside the upsell tool and then just automating it for you. And so it's like, sure, they've got a personalization bar at the bottom. Cool. Like everybody can do that at this point. But like in order to just automatically choose what products go there based on behavioral and interest and segmentation data, it is a game changer. And like I said, it just takes the weight off the merchant's shoulders. So yeah, absolutely love it.
Absolutely. And and really when it comes into like the Amazon space, like to kind of go back to what you're talking about, that is exactly what you need to have. So when we're talking about what we're going to be sort of discussing today, that's the bridging of the gap that we're really going to be discussing for the most part. And we're talking about, customer retention with the Amazon platform and how can we do it? Well, it's not really rocket science. I think a lot of people already know the general basics of it. It's like put an insert card or something along these lines, give them something free. Well, that all still works, obviously. Yeah. Now, there's obviously different ways of skinning the cat when you do that. And we'll definitely dive into that. So I would love to sort of put over to you. Is there any specific questions that you want to dive into first before I drive on into it?
I want to see. Yeah, you're right. The core tactics that I think people have probably heard about before, but might not be doing that well. And then similar to John's session, how do I test, iterate, improve, and kind of track this process? Like, I don't think a lot of people in their CRMs have like a custom tag that's like originally purchased from Amazon and we were able to move them over to our D2C or something like that. It's like, how do we track the metrics and improve them, right? Because if we're not tracking, we can't improve them.
Well, really, if we back up just a little bit, because there's a lot to talk about. We only have a little bit of time, so I definitely don't want to waste anyone's time to sort of dive right on. What we do know is that Amazon themselves have a 90% retention rate. Like, hello, they're amazing. And they've been honoring that and holding true to that forever. And they're only getting better at it. And anytime anyone has anything new or new software tools, they see what's working and then they integrate it. Like myself included, we had a virtual bundling software tool that allowed you to take 2 FBA products and make a virtual bundle so that you can, find the money you're leaving on the table. You can increase your sales. And it was making like over $500,000 for companies of free found money. And then Amazon got a wind of it and then they built it into their platform. So it's great that they're kind of seeing what's working and they are iterating it. But at the same time, when you are on third-party platforms, you are at their mercy is really what it is at the end of the day. And you absolutely nailed it. Even if someone sees an ad on Amazon, so an ad on Facebook or over on Instagram or whatever, and they may click through, they might look at it. It might be, seller commerce, or it might be sending them over to their actual website. But a lot of the times people trust their credit card with Amazon, so they're going to go over and look for it anyways. So the fact of the matter is we have to look at both sides of the coins. That we know that Amazon retains their people because they do a hell of a good job of reaching out and, sending them emails and doing suggestions and asking for reviews and da-da-da-da-da. So why are we not copying what we know already works? But at the same time, we have massive shiny object syndrome. And when we are solopreneurs or small business owners, even if you have $1 million company, a lot of times you can run it with only a few people in the e-commerce space. It's still a lot of things that we need to do. And so when we talk about all these different strategies, the first and foremost thing is that I would highly recommend everyone is just really plan it out and stick to the path at hand and don't deviate from it. Because as you guys were talking about beforehand, split testing, you need to give things enough time to provide enough feedback in order to know that it's working. And so when it comes to the Amazon platform, we know that people stay there. We know people are going to come back to there. But the fact of the matter is how do we know that they're going to come back to us? Right. So creating that really is what it is bridging the gap of the customer experience from the Amazon platform into your own ecosystem is what we're talking about and what we need to be doing. So we absolutely still go with the whole concept of, doing, an insert cart or something along those lines. But really what we want to be able to do is you need to be able to create those feedback loops, and we need to be able to create that know, trust. And so when anyone is buying on the Amazon platform and they get your product, a lot of people will end up building their products very basic. And I certainly started off very, very basic when I, built my online company, where it's like a product in a bag and like, a little insert card, and that was about it. But the fact of the matter is you really should be building your products for the Amazon platform as if they are going on a retail shelf, because you want to create that amazing first initial experience when people get a hold of your product. And especially if it's going to be a gift or anything along those lines. So you want to be designing your packaging, your inserts and everything so it looks like it should be ready to go on Walmart's shelves. That's like number one, create that first initial experience, because we all know that we are going to judge the person we see within the first 10 seconds, the products that we see in first 10 seconds. So create that first initial great experience. And then once we're moving past that, okay, this is the first experience, then how do they open up the box? Are they getting all their information? One thing that I do see time and time again as well is people will put how to use the product in their listing or in their bullets or even in their images, but they don't actually put it, how to use it in the damn product.
This is a problem.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, stop assuming people understand. We are too busy to try to figure freaking things out.
Remember it from there, yeah.
No one's gonna. And how many times do you buy? Like, buy. Like, you got 5 items coming this week, 3 items coming this week. It's a birthday party. Like, we don't have time and energy for that. So make it as seamless and easy for the customer to like, know, and trust you. So put all the how-tos within the packaging, and or with that insert that we're talking about. Create a knowledge base. Yeah. Send them over to your site for a specific reason with that knowledge base in written form, knowledge base in video format as well, because we have 65% of the population are visual learners, which we will be talking more about that tomorrow when I dive into the brand recognition and visual importance of brands online. And then the other percentage are all audio.
But before we move into this, I just want to make it really clear to everybody. I think this is a moment of opportunity, especially if you have a product that you have to learn about. The how-to guide. Yes, it should be inside the product, because the last thing you want to do is send somebody back to Amazon to remember how to learn it. But it could also be the moment that connects them to your loyalty program or to your website or for some other email information capture. And of course, it reminds me a little bit of the product warranty card from, the 90s to the early 2000s. I think that was, we were like, okay, we want the warranty, so we'll give them all of our information. That card was invented so that they could capture your information and market to you later, right? So we can find a way to do that, a little bit more of a new age way to do that today with this how-to guide. Go to the video, subscribe to our YouTube, whatever it is, or it could be a gated video, or it could be a page that has the video at the top for free. And then it gives you options to like subscribe and find out more and join the loyalty program and stuff like that below. Right. So this is this is one of the perfect opportunities for bringing somebody from Amazon to direct to consumer. All right, keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. And, so every company has different niches, different audiences, different how-tos. So we're going to blanket statement this, but with a few of the companies that I've worked with, it's worked extremely well as we would actually create evergreen 21-day challenges. Like, think about how many challenges you're seeing going through your Facebook feed right now and the sponsors, right? Like, challenge to do this, to lose weight, to meditate, to prayer, to whatever it might be. Why don't you also make a challenge for yourself? So I end up having an undergarment company that we were working with, and it's all about love yourself, love your body, what God made you. And our products are going to be able to help you accentuate that so you feel strong and empowered, so on and so forth. We'll just leave it at that. But what they did is they had a 21-day challenge that had a journal and everything else along those lines. So not only are they getting this really amazing interaction with, as soon as they opened up the product, it was designed to the T. We had the insert cards, we had all the how-tos, we had the QR codes, we had the scan codes, we had everything. So no matter what demographic or generation, because obviously older generations go to URL, younger generations, they're more comfortable by scanning something. So make sure we know who we're talking to and who our audience is. And then we were able to capture them, but then we were able to put them into a like, know, trust system. Get to know the company. We're here to support you. We have a private Facebook community, and we have a 21-day challenge of videos and helping you, lose weight or whatever it might be that your challenge is going to be. And the customers loved it because they really got to meet other people who were just like them, who are using similar types of products for the same problems that they had. So that created a really beautiful community. And then it also allowed the company to be able like, hey, we love you. We want to do everything we can for you. We want to have that feedback loop that we just talked about before. We need to understand what they like, what they don't like. And then because they created this community and this challenge that they ran evergreen as well, and they of course had staff members who were in there live, talking to people on top of the evergreen, but it allowed them to really dive into, the ask method, which, I'm sure a lot of people know who that is or where that came from. It's like, we're going to do this type of thing in blue, red, or yellow. Which one do you guys like? And if their audience would be like, we like blue. And then they're like, okay, great. Now we have the data. We're not just making anything up and putting another product on our Amazon listing or our website, because they created that community to get that, again, that information, that feedback.
That'll help you figure out your inventory SKUs. It's like, well, should we buy 1/3, 1/3, 1/3? No, in fact, 80% said blue. So let's go ahead and stack our inventory accordingly.
Exactly. Stop wasting money. So that was one thing that we did. The other thing that we did, now this was really, really fun. And this is more for like the younger generation, where we actually got connected and hired like a TikTok star, someone that was they're a little mini influencer. They weren't super high, so they weren't too costly to bring them on board. But it was the 80s themed gear. And as far as I can go on telling about my client's product on that one, but it was 80s themed gear. So we ended up having a few different influencers make these really amazing, awesome TikTok dances with like these 80 chill moves, and they're dancing around or doing their thing. And then they would throw in their affiliate, their link of like, hey, why don't you make one? Like, it was a challenge. You're watching this video, you're seeing it, and we all know how TikTok works. Everyone sees a really cool dance or whatever it might be, so they go replicate it. But now you go replicate it by buying the product that you're seeing in this video.
Yeah.
Right. So not only did the TikTok star have an opportunity of making a few bucks because of the affiliate aspect of it, but it drove people back to the Amazon listing and brought them back into. So we created this ecosystem in that direction as well. So, again, like, know, trust, make it go viral, use influencers. And then, of course, you're capturing as many people as possible by getting them off of Amazon into some sort of capturing aspect for their email, their information on your social sites, as well as their website, and then, back again. So again, what we do know is that people don't always buy right now. They look at it, they see it. And we like to say, you have to hit someone 7 times before a customer makes an educated buying choice. But really the fact of the matter is that number was actually made up before there was cable TV. So it may not be 7 times we need to get in front of someone. It might be 77 times we actually need to get in some. But the fact of the matter is the message behind it is that we need to be relevant, and we need to constantly be in someone's space, because we're getting hit with over 2,500 different media messages that our brain can actually take in. And then there's thousands and thousands of other media messaging points that our brain can't take in. It's just like they're peripheral, they're not there, you don't even know they're there, but they're there kind of thing. So we really want to make sure that if we're going to be picking a strategy, stick to it for like 3 to 6 months, no matter what it is. You really want to make sure that you're creating that customer bridge, that experience that they're having with you when they're finding you on Amazon. You want to move them over into your social platforms where it's knowledge-based, it's fun, it's a game, you're creating a community, how to, videos, PDFs, whatever it might be to kind of help them get into that product. Then it allows you to have that feedback loop. So you can say, hey, what's the next products that you'd like to have or not like to have? And then you're not wasting any money at all. You already have people who are ready to buy, and whatever you're launching thereafter is just money in the bank.
Yeah, I love it. So this, I think, is the grand system and plan, and I think it'll work really well for visual and social brands, which is great. Maybe let's dive into a few other perhaps tactics that'll work. One of them that I'm thinking of, which the insert is good in driving people over to social, but this is related, but it's a little bit on the packaging side. Is like, how can I change my actual like labels or packaging in order to incentivize somebody coming back to my direct to consumer channel?
Yeah, and tomorrow when I dive into like my whole slideshow, we're definitely
we're gonna go
what
deep.
That looks like. Yeah, we're going to go deep into that one. We're going to go into the buyer psychology, what works, what doesn't work, and how to really, increase our sales and conversion rates by giving the consumers everything they need in order to purchase. So when it comes to the packaging, really at the end of the day, again, what I want people to do is I want you to go see what your competitors are doing or what other people are doing, because the easiest way to learn is by learning by someone else. You can go, I like this, I don't like that, I don't like that. And then you can, of course, take all the pros and cons and incorporate it into your own. So the packaging is really literally like a listing. And if the listing is properly optimized, now there's two different types of optimizing of listings. There's an optimization for the robots to be found. I think we get that. Whether you're in Google, you're on a website or a third-party platforms, we need to be found by robots. We get that. But it has to also be optimized for the customer decision process itself, right? We have to optimize customer decisions. And the way that consumers are really able to purchase is really at the end of the day, we need to be able to visually interpret or visually explain what it is that we're doing and how we're doing it for the problems, what you're solving, how they're able to use it, so if it's going to be the right thing for them, and all those call to actions. So if you think about your listing and you have like all these images of like the who, the what, the where, the how, the why, the when that you're kind of putting up there, you have your 5 bullet points of, the who, the what, the size, the dimensions, who it's for, when you use it, kind of thing. You're like, okay, take literally all that information and throw it into the packaging, obviously in a way that is clean, easy to read, with as much visual, representation as possible. Again, we'll dive into more of that tomorrow. So that as you're moving yourself around the box, think of it like an Amazon listing or your product listing. You're at the top, then you scroll down a little bit.
This is below the fold to the package.
Below the fold, this is how to use. So if you just go to any store right now and take a look at the packaging, or even go into your cupboards, like how many times do you see packaging or products that don't tell you what to do and how to do it? And a perfect example is like creams, like women's creams, night creams, day creams, whatever it might be. We spend $100 on a bloody bottle of cream that's like this big, and the bottle has no information on it. They go to the packaging to do it. And it's like, okay, but I just threw the packaging out. Or I read the packaging, but it was like last month and I don't really remember what it is. So when we're talking about taking and incorporating all of the information that you need to divulge to the customers so they can make that educated buying choice on the packaging, also make sure that enough of the information in order how to use it also is on the product itself, depending on the product, obviously. It doesn't work for everything. But really, it's literally just the packaging is the same thing as the listing. And you want to make sure that if it is sitting on a shelf, that you can clearly look at the very front homepage, which is like the top hero image, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
It has all the key information in order for them to be like, yes, I want this, and I don't need that. And the reason why we spend so much time, energy, and effort on positioning and optimizing for customers' decisions, really at the end of the day, is just, if you do that, then they don't need to look at the competition. You disqualify the competition immediately.
Yeah, they won't accidentally Google search how to, and then there'll be an ad for a competitor and they'll sneak to the other site. Also, I think from a retention standpoint, if I'm getting the maximum value by using this product to the fullest, I'm more likely to come back and buy again. So I think this ties into retention perfectly. I think it's overlooked.
There's another thing to it on top of that, which a lot of people don't realize is, again, we'll get into a little bit tomorrow, but the way that our brain works, we have 3 different capacities as to our memory components. And so if we can hit all 3 of those capacities, which is a story, an emotion, and whatnot, if you can create a story and an emotion and you're using the visual representation, because the brain can interpret images within 13 milliseconds. And if we have 7-second attention time span, people are like, oh my God, 7 seconds to people, to get people's attention and to give them all the information to make the choice to buy. That's not a lot of time, but the brain works so flippin' fast. You have more than enough time to be able to get the information across, right? Yeah. And so when we're really diving into what that looks like, is really making sure that we're using as much visual components to tell a story as best as possible. And if you can tell a story with visual components, there's 3 sections within their brain that they're actually going to retain that information and remember it easier, which therefore they can become an ambassador. because they can quickly and easily turn around and tell their friend and family why they like the product and how the product works and why they use the product, all because of the visual representation that got lodged into their memory sectors of their brain. And therefore they become ambassadors without you even asking them to.
I love it. Ashley, we have to move into the next session, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. So for everybody, make sure you stay tuned tomorrow for her. She's going to break down those psychological components and maybe perhaps what is it called? Neurological, like brain functions that you can trick
behind buyer behavior and how we can use images to increase our sales and conversion rates on any platform, whether it's third party or your own website. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Perfect. And just in case people are with us today right now and they want to get a hold of you, where should they go?
thehiddenrulesexpert.com is the easiest place to find me and all my social profiles. And if not there, then I'm on national TV as well, all across the US. So either on TV or on my website, one or the other. We'll see you guys there.
Perfect. I'm plugging this right now in chat. Miles says, thanks so much. I want to share this one. Great presentation so far. Thanks for doing this. Thank you so much, Miles.
Thanks,
Everyone can check out Ashley here. Thank you so much. We're moving right into our next presentation. So we'll see you later, Ashley.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye.